Alright guys, we're back. We're going to do Wars 8 and 9 together because, well, I didn't contribute much. I only have 3 fights in each. And I didn't feel like doing a 7-minute video with about like 45 seconds worth of fights. So, we're just going to put them together. And I'm lazy, so it worked out. But we're up against GT this war. GT, they do GT things. I only had 2 Path 1 fights in the boss, so I literally just came in at the end. And I'm going to just clean up. We had already lost by this point. We played like shit. I don't know any other way to put it. It was not a good war from us. We just made a lot of mental mistakes. And you can't do that against GT. You know, they did die once, I think. But they normally don't. So in this first fight, it's a Terrax. This is Path 9, Hazard Shift. We're going to go in Magma. That way I am Incinerate immune. It will have poison, and I don't have I-Bomb this war. That was something I had to remember because I'm used to having him, and I forget. Don't hit in the poison phase. So, I did start with a Power Start 1, and that was just in case I got stuck waiting out poison and my form was falling off. It was more of kind of a plan if I had to go to like plan C and D kind of thing. You know, it was there if I needed it. So we're going to be very aggressive starting out. I want to do as many hits as possible in this Incinerate phase. That's the plan. It's just a rank 1. I just want to keep him in his rock shield, get my charges. And once it ends, we're just going to wait. I've got plenty of form. I'm at the L3. I'm going to throw it when the poison phase ends. And then we're just going to melt it. But I do medium like medium to get my invulnerabilities. And then we throw the L3 and it almost kills. You know, I have 3 fairly brain dead fights. So if I died, I'd probably just ask to be kicked. Because I'd probably deserve it. And as you can see, the L3 and then 2 hits, he's dead. There's nothing to it. Then we go to this Mangog, which I'm going to use Void. Since I'm Tactic, I can just avoid Hazard Shift. He will go indestructible a lot. But, I mean, the war was lost. My only concern was don't die. I do make this fight take longer than it should. But, hey, what are you going to do? I just spam L1s. That's the plan. We're just going to keep throwing L1s. That way it keeps the slow up. And we don't have to worry about unstoppable. Because I will forget and then get hit in the face. It's just what would happen. So we go into this fight. I still had my Power Start 1, which that's fine. He's going to be start out indestructible, not a big deal. And yeah, we throw it. He throws his L1. And you can see at the beginning of this fight, I was just doing 5-hit combos, not just being an idiot. Then he gets up to 8 charges, and I'm like, oh, okay. Let's go back to 4-hit combos. Let's not be an idiot. Because I was not paying attention at all. I was just in my own world doing my own thing and didn't realize I was being an idiot. So now I just go 3-4-hit combos and spam L1. He will eventually go down. There's just nothing to this fight. I mean, when you have 3 fights, you bring in 3 champs, you have an ideal counter for the fights. I mean, I would have no excuse if I died. None. I mean, I'd make one up. Absolutely would I make one up. I'd have one. You damn right I'd have one. But, really, there'd be no real good one. So, yeah, you can see this fight goes down 1.5 minutes. Not too bad. And then we move on to the boss. It's the reason we have Mantis taking yet another Photon boss. At this point, this is War 8. I think I've taken I think this is like my 5th one. I have another one in War 9. I mean, I've got it down to a science now, which this one was Ascended. It's funny because an Ascended one, and to me, makes it easier because it has more health, which makes my boosting easier. And if you pay attention to this one and the next one against Newn, you'll see I don't get as much power back on my L2s, so I can cycle them a lot easier. And that's why I'd actually prefer a Ascended one over just like a 6-star rank 5. So we go in, we do use a power start 1. We're going to put on our Intimidate and build up charges like we normally do. There we go, dash back, hit in the block with some slower combos just to keep the Tranquilize up. That was just a random hit because I don't know what I was doing. We're going to bait the L1. And I only got to 18. I think I throw it anyways, yeah. I didn't worry about it. I just got 9 Furies. It's fine. It's really not that big a deal. I'm not worried about time. Now, I just wanted her to throw it heavy. And she wouldn't do it, and then I got cornered. So now, we're just doing the same cycle all over again. Now, what I should have done there is went into the sleep since I was hitting her block instead of waiting for another heavy and doing combos, what I should have done. But, hey, I mean, it's going down fairly easily. We're a minute in, and this last L2 is going to kill. And, I mean, that's going to be my war. Not much to it at all. I'm just making this take way longer than it should. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just standing there, I guess. Like, why did I even push her to split? I don't know. Watching this back, I realized all my mistakes. I'm like, I'm an idiot. But that was my war. We lost 7-1. We sucked. We had a bad war. We're hoping to bounce back because we're going to have to do better. We just are. We made mistakes. We're going to learn from them. So we move on to the next war against Newn. I have 3 more fights, but I get to be Carl's pre-fight bitch in this one. I like Carl. So I didn't mind it. Go to Sassy. Put that wags on. Tenny, look, I am a professional pre-fight placer. Don't get that twisted. I do it well. Okay? When they need a pre-fight bitch, they call me. But I just follow him in section 1, follow him to section 2. I have the second fight with one eye open on path 9 hazard shift spot. We're going to be using CGR. And you'll see in this fight, I went in with no plan at all. I was like, hey, it's Spot. I have CGR. What could go wrong? And then as I got looking at the nodes, because I thought it was, path 9, I'll just blitz it, whatever. And I'm looking at the nodes and I'm like, one eye open. That's a slight problem. Shock bleed. It's going to start out in shock. That's another problem. Probably should have thought this out a little bit better. But as I'm looking over my boosts, I'm thinking, and I'm getting a game plan together. I really hope Liza doesn't watch this, because, man, she ain't going to be happy with what I'm having to say. But, I'm sorry, okay? So I go in, I'm like, look, I'm just going to parry. I'm not hitting him, so I won't take any damage. And he's getting me backed up in the corner quicker than I would like. So right here, yep. I triggered Dex, and I'm like, that's fine. Whatever. We're just going to go. Look, this is a rank 5 CGR. It doesn't matter. I've got full recoil zone and full suicide zone. And you can see, I still get back to the L3. Even having Dexed. And this is going to kill. I wasn't worried about Dexing. Sometimes you just got to believe in the power of the champ you're playing. And that's what I did. by God. So I go on. I think I cut out. I move up to somebody else. I place another pre-fight for Carl. He absolutely killed the war. Amazing player. Carl's an amazing dude. I love Carl. But my second fight is this Adam Warlock on 46. Now, I was talking to Wes because last time I took this, I was worried about the power he would get coming out of my L3. Now, this is an ascended Adam Warlock, so he's got more health, and it shows. Because, you know, power start 1, we get our power gain, we get our vigilance, L2. And now this is with full recoils on everything. And I get to an L2. But you'll see, I quick heavy, throw into the L2. Because as Wes was pointing out, because he knew I was worried about the power, that I could heavy right there, trigger damnation, and then throw it, and he'll gain no power. So thank you, Wes. Now I did go into that Mangog, place another pre-fight. This one was for Heck. Heck's also a good dude. He crushed that fight. So now we go on to our last fight. Another Photon boss. But I don't know what. This one just did not go well for me. It's a rank 2 unduped. And unduped makes it even easier. Not going to get any buffs. There's less danger in an unduped one. And I start out power start 1 and the intimidate like I always do. Building up my charges. Only get 17, but it's like, okay, now let's get to our L2. I trigger the infuriate, so she'll throw the L1, and I don't have to spend a lot of time baiting it. I think I get to 19 charges there. And I throw the L2. Still got 10 furies, so it did a good bit of damage. And just, this fight just felt off. You know, I'm playing it slow, playing it safe. Just baiting heavies. That's how I like to find my openings. Because when I go to counter her heavy, I know my tranquilizer will always be up. Don't have to worry about it. But there, she throws the L1 and I don't get as many charges as I wanted. So I'm like, okay, we're going to take what we can get. And we're just going to empty power, start over. Because I know the next one's going to kill. I know it is. There we go. She's not really wanting to throw that L1. I'm like, you know, being aggravating. So I push her to the L2. I decked the last bit just because the block damage was getting up there. And I don't know why I threw that L2. It really drugged this fight out because that L2 should have killed. But it's fine. We're just going to reset, start all over. And I've got plenty of charges. This one will kill. Yeah, there we go. But this fight ended up 3-4. And it's weird because it was 3-3 going into the last fight for Newn. Both sides knew it was going to come down to time. We adjusted, finished first. They adjusted, and it came down to the last boss fight. He had 83 seconds, and he had to rush. You know, he's an amazing player. I know him. But he ended up dying because he was rushing. You know, I can't really fault him for that. You know, it is what it is. You know, GG's to Newn. They played an amazing war. They did. And we'll see y'all in the next one.